All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 134. Today on the show, in Cringe of the Week, we have a section dedicated to LGBTs that derailed the destiny that was imprinted in their DNA. We'll show you what they're up to and what they could have been doing instead. Then, in housekeeping, the border is still open and Trump is off the 2024 ballot in Colorado. We'll tell you what it all means. Then, Netflix keeps getting gayer. This time, they ruined a classic kid show again. And last but not least, we are not going to get too down or too depressed because it's Christmas.
Yeah, can't.
Christmas is here. It's our final episode before the break, so we are going to be very, very positive. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 134, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Rapper.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, this week's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Allegiance Gold. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that we are on the verge of World War III. And on top of that, Joe Biden's policies have put us in an economic downturn that we haven't seen in half a century. Inflation is killing our savings, and we're looking at two possible interest rate hikes that have experts and professionals like Warren Buffett worried. That means your savings in retirement are in serious trouble. Do not risk it. Secure your future with Allegiance Gold. Whether you want physical gold and silver or you simply want to protect your IRA or 401k, you can trust the pros over at Allegiance Gold. They have the highest trust rating in the precious metals industry, and their relationships are based on integrity and expertise. Just this past year, central banks have bought over 800 tons of gold, with China leading the way. Don't put it off any longer. Secure your future today with Allegiance Gold. Go to protectwithfleccas.com right now or call 844-4FLECCAS to talk to an Allegiance Gold representative right now. And Allegiance Gold even has a special offer for Fleccas podcast watchers, $5,000 in free silver with any qualifying purchase. Protectwithfleccas.com is the website. 844-4FLECCAS is the number. Call today. Now let's get into housekeeping. All right. Thank you to Allegiance Gold.
Yeah.
It's very good to have gold on hand.
Yep. Physical,
precious metals. That's smart, especially with the way things are going. Everyone knows that. All right. We have Christmas coming up.
Yeah.
We're a few days away. And because of that, we are going to be really, really positive today. Instead of opening up with trans sex or illegal immigrants, we're going to open the show with something more positive. And we'll save the trans sex stuff for a few minutes from now.
Yeah, like it's coming. It's coming, and it's at a rapid landslide pace. But, you know, at least we could suspend disbelief. It is Christmas.
Yeah, we are quickly approaching the gay trans sex. But until then, we're going to do something more positive. We had a massive P.O. Box haul, which we are very grateful for. A couple days ago, we went to the P.O. Box, and the lady said to you...
We caused a scene. She said we actually showed up in stupid outfits. We're filming a Christmas special for Bonus Land.
Yep.
So we were there in stupid outfits. She goes, "Oh, there you are. We turned into a storage facility for you guys."
So thank you so much to everyone who sent stuff. We spent the whole night opening boxes, reading letters, so many cool things. Just to highlight one of them, my favorite was this from Ashleen.
Yeah.
Look at that. This one's you.
Yeah, that one's me. It's called, I think it's called Crochet.
Yeah.
So Richard Ratboy Crochet, the glasses kind of fell off. I'll fix that up.
And then look at this. I'm in the sleeveless hoodie. That's real. And I'm basically wearing it right now.
Yeah, they a little bit of stuffing they dropped off. It seems like they didn't really go full to size.
You could have packed it a little more in the gut.
Yeah. Here,
but actually not where I'm trending.
Oh, all right. Also, when you're sending us stuff, please do like an Instagram handle or something. If you're writing a letter, like I don't really want to do emails and stuff like that, but like an Instagram handle, we want to reach out. Ashleen killed it. Just said from Ashleen.
Yep.
So I don't know. I'd like to reach out.
Very grateful for that. And then Kendra got me socks and also a gift card to Cassis, my favorite restaurant in St. Pete, where I get my seafood towers.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Someone gave us a PBA card.
Yeah, and also a $500 gift card for Home Depot to buy a freezer because they're going to be sending us a ton of steaks.
Crazy.
Guys, we are very grateful. We couldn't do the show without you, and this just reminds us how we have the best audience probably ever.
Yeah. Audience is strong. It's crazy.
Stronger than ever, too. So thank you, guys. We love you. Something positive to start the show. But let's get into some of the real stuff. We have some more footage from the border. Here's the newest clip from Texas. We have thousands of people who are trying to get across the border and will probably be let in, thousands and thousands.
Yeah. Good old Eagle Pass.
Yeah, nice Eagle Pass, Texas trip. And then there was a new stat that came out that the amount of illegal immigration we're seeing is equivalent of a Michigan football stadium every 7 days.
The big house.
Yeah.
And these guys don't tailgate. They just kind of cook guinea pigs on the side of the road instead.
Yeah, they don't root for the Big Ten. But we're not going to get too down. I'm grateful for the ham.
Yeah, leftover ham a couple days after Christmas when you don't have to go to work. Come on.
Yeah, and there's like that time between Christmas and New Year's where you kind of have the house to yourself and the leftovers and ham.
So 100,000 people every day crossing the border? Ham.
Yeah.
Honey ham.
Honey ham. And you can turn it into a sandwich. Greg Abbott made it legal immigration illegal. I don't fully know. I don't fully know what it means, but can you read the headline?
Yeah, Governor Greg Abbott signs a bill making illegal immigration a state crime. The new law would authorize police to arrest people, blah, blah, blah. There's a couple different caveats in it, but the thing we already have laws for, because they're not being, we need new laws for.
We're going to just rewrite it again and say, seriously, we really got to do this one.
Did he try underlining it a bunch of times? Like, what's next?
Yeah, we're already a little late, Greg. Everyone is already here by a lot.
Yeah. And then, so I just want to read this from the article itself that was laying out, like, what exactly is illegal in Texas. And there was a response from, Democrats, basically, that said, these measures not only threaten the safety and dignity of asylum seekers, but also risk undermining the foundational principles of our legal system, said Krish O'Mara, president and CEO of Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Service.
Yeah, so, undermining the foundations of whatever. Yeah. I think they're the ones doing that.
Yeah, I think 100,000 people a week, unfettered, unchecked. I think that might be a little shaky to our foundations as opposed to, the immigration service guy who's worried about getting his cash cow taken out from him.
Yeah, we're enforcing the law too good.
Yeah.
And then also this week we learned a lot of people went to that Turning Point event in Arizona.
Amfest, yep.
Amfest. And then when they were at the airport, people saw a lot of illegals being flown all over the country. Many people without any ID, and the name on the ticket said no name given.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting.
So we let those people in. No name given. They just go,
send them to Philadelphia.
Great work, Border Patrol.
Yeah. So everyone's getting flown all over the country. We have some B-roll here of everyone in lines.
Yep.
Getting sent. Mostly third worlders, too. And someone made a point to us in the P.O. box, sent us a letter. Mm-hmm. And they were saying how the days of Bill Clinton illegal immigrants are over. People used to come here. They would work hard. First one in, last one out. Save every dollar. Head down, kind of just grind it out for their families, and they were here illegally. Now what we're getting is like third world mud hut people.
Yeah, true, straight out of Guinea. We've shown that girl who wants to go to aviation from Guinea, and we're going to show another guy from Guinea later.
Yeah, we can show him now. Here he is. Here's the guy from Guinea, and they interview him at the border, and let's see what his plan is.
Where are you from?
Guinea-Conakry.
Where?
Guinea-Conakry.
Guinea, okay. And where in the U.S. do you want to go to?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Why Philadelphia?
I have paper. I don't know the place. Let me check the place. I want to check the place.
He's got an
So
address.
just an address in Philadelphia to go to? Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So he wants to go deep into the country, and where is he going and why? I just have an address. I go there.
In West Philadelphia, he was sent from Guinea is where he spent most of his days. 50 IQ, can't communicate. So we got to update some of our cultural shit.
Yeah.
And I think there's a place in New Jersey, like a town that's nicknamed Guinea Gulch.
Oh, yeah, but that's different.
That's different now. It's going to be different now. They're packing the Guineans in there.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And then it was Ashley St. Clair, Nuance Bro, Current Revolt who were filming most of this at the Phoenix airport. And it's just one of those things where people were lashing out at them, too, for filming these people like, oh, so you just filmed, like, shitty NBC journalists were like, oh, you just filmed people at an airport? like, oh my God, like have some respect or something. And it was just like, no, they all had bags on them that was like from this processing site going to here.
Here's your wristband. Here's a phone charger. Here's where you're going. Here's what you say to people. We have the clip of Nuance Bro talking to some of them, and he speaks a little French.
Can you record? Excuse me. Which country? French. Oh, je parlais un petit peu français. Pays, qu'est-ce que pays?
He's from Guinea. Not pays.
Where?
Guinea. He's from
Guinea. Okay, and you guys are going where?
So Guinea.
A lot of Guinea. I was going to say a lot of guineas, but I don't think you're supposed to say that, but I guess you can.
Not
for that.
Salvatore's. We're talking about Mufasa's. I don't even know.
So a lot of people from Guinea, I don't know what we need them for. Maybe, I don't know what their plan is here either. There's a guy coming out of the bathroom at the airport. He was in the women's bathroom. Yeah. One of the illegal migrants. Syria's coming out.
Yeah, they come and they fit right in with the liberal agenda of confusion on your bathroom. And it's like the first thing they do is get something brutally wrong and can't communicate.
The most basic thing, too. Which bathroom to go into. He probably left a huge dump on the ground in there. And
Stinky shit.
And I was thinking we're at the point now, because Joe Biden's in power and, 2020 got STOLN from us.
STOLN.
Stolen.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're at the point now where we basically, our only option is for things to get worse before they get better. So we have to see like these progressive policies in action, and then we have to let all these illegals go to every city and then basically ruin them and do more crime and then get all prioritized over American citizens. I guess that's what we have to do now.
I don't know.
There's no other way to get them out. So it's like now hopefully people will see and go, ooh, maybe it wasn't a good idea to bring 100,000 people a week to this country where that they have no cultural alliances with.
And it's ironic or funny or depressing, whatever you want to call it, but we're spending all this money. Border Patrol is over budget. The U.S. taxpayer is footing the bill for all this. Who's paying for the Delta flights, to Philadelphia, to New York, wherever? So we're paying to get them deep into the country. And then if Trump gets into power and we do mass deportations, we're going to have to, it's going to be a pretty expensive bill to get them out of the country, all just to get to net neutral. So an absolute waste of the taxpayers' money for, I don't know, some guy from Guinea.
Yeah, lots of human trafficking.
Yeah, literally.
On both sides.
And are we going to play this video at 3 a.m. at the airport?
Yeah, this is 3 a.m. I don't know who found it. Maybe it was
Muckraker.com.
Yeah. They found these groups that were just like getting these kids through the airport every night.
Where are you guys moving these kids to?
None of your business.
You guys
business.
got paperwork for these kids?
Don't worry about it.
You know, a third of these kids go missing.
Sorry.
You guys know anything about this?
That happens every day.
About these guys moving these kids through the airport?
Yeah.
Straight up.
It's America.
Welcome to America.
So is that guy on our side or not?
Fuck no. That guy is...
He wasn't doing a bit like, yeah, this is ridiculous, this sucks, and he was just saying...
He's saying thumbs up. He's antagonistic to someone filming like shit that's being done in secret at 3 a.m,
And that's not to bring it all the way back to COVID, but like now everyone at Border Patrol and the airport and all these federal jobs, they probably all have to be vaccinated.
Yeah.
So it's like they kind of put their duds in there, their pawns.
They're henchmen.
And once they got vaccinated, then they know they're on the side or at least willing to be. And now they could be like, oh, yeah, let everyone in. And they're going to go, okay, I'm a vaccinated moron anyway.
Yeah.
And all the base people who didn't want to get vaxxed left. And that's who probably would have stood up to this. And that's a theory.
For sure. That's reasonable. And then this guy is trying to block the guy filming it. And he accidentally reveals some paperwork from some guy. And it says the Office of Refugee Resettlement from the Department of Health and Human Services. So another thing that we're all paying for. We're all footing the bill.
So everyone's footing the bill and everyone's getting fucked over.
Ukraine, Israel, the Department of Refugee Resettlement. We're just getting fucking smoked.
The hotels.
McDonald's fries are $7 in California. Mm-hmm. And, it doesn't feel great. But it is Christmas.
Yeah, we can't get too depressed because, that smell of the Christmas tree in the house?
Yeah, that winter smell. Hopefully it snows.
Yeah.
We're both going up north from Florida. Hopefully it snows.
And then the fire's going, you toasty.
Yeah.
And then someone does a home invasion on you in broad daylight from Nicaragua.
Yeah. They signal jam you now.
You go, oh, my phone's not working. And then your family goes, oh, mine neither. And then
You go, that's weird. No signal. We always have a signal.
and the door gets kicked in.
Yep.
And they rob you for your silverware.
Yeah.
Or whatever you have, a shitty TV. So everyone's getting fucked over. The American taxpayer is getting fucked over. They're footing the bill. But Kathy Hochul of New York,
she wants that pain to get a little deeper.
Yeah.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul signs controversial legislation to create slavery reparations commission. So
smart.
She's following the California playbook. And the article, it's standard, exploring reparations, which we already know already happen because welfare is a crazy spend every year. But, of course, there's an Al Sharpton quote in there that, look at today where we still see blacks making 70 cents to every dollar whites make.
They just use the same stats from women.
And
then they just reuse it.
And they don't factor in hard work, hours worked, anything like that. Education level. They just go, well, it's uneven right now.
Yeah.
So we might as well pay them. And so the taxpayer, they're coming for you.
Yeah.
And Kathy Hochul, correct me if I'm wrong, but she was unelected. She was appointed after the Cuomo got a little grabby.
Yeah.
And so they brought in Kathy Hochul to do all the Muppet shit.
I think Cuomo wasn't going to play full ball. He was playing ball for COVID, but he wasn't going to play full ball.
He was a New York kind of guy. He was a Democrat, but he was a New York guy. He wasn't going to do any really dumb shit.
And then they just swapped him out. Kathy will do it.
They did an Indiana Jones swap for Kathy.
Yeah, exactly. But don't get too mad. Don't get too depressed. Good news, Hulk Hogan got baptized.
Yep. At least there's something positive
there
going
you
on.
go. And that was this week, right before Christmas. Right on, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Right on.
HH.
HH, right on, brother. All right, let's go to our next page of housekeeping. Before we get there, make sure you guys use this opportunity to tickle the post. You have been so good about that. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment again, and then on your third comment, start talking about what you want to talk about.
Yeah,
Make sure notifications are on.
Leave a comment about what happened to Rob in Phoenix,
Yeah, he's a victim of a hate crime.
A super hate crime.
Yeah, we cover that in the Christmas special.
Guys, we've been filming the Christmas special, too, over the last couple days, and it's very schizophrenic.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like between 10 and 15 minutes. There's a whole story. We Henchman Max. We'll get to it in a few minutes to give you more details, but it's so good. But also, tickle the post, juice the algo, and make sure you send us stuff to the P.O. Box. Our P.O. Box is empty right now.
Stop.
Isn't that kind of sad? Don't you feel bad that the P.O. Box is empty?
I'm sure stuff is still coming.
Yeah, it's true. We're getting stuff. So send us stuff to the P.O. Box. We love opening things from you guys and getting gifts, and people tell us fun stories in the letters. It's very nice.
They do.
All right, we have a Harvard update. Remember President Gay from Harvard?
Yeah, Claudine.
She's got some more stuff coming. This is the main update I wanted to read, and then we have some articles that came out alongside it. Right there.
You want to read this one first? Mm-hmm. All right, so comparing two recent Harvard presidents, Lawrence H. Summers was the previous president. He said over 150 scholarly papers, multiple books, World Bank chief, Treasury secretary, director of NEC, and more. Claudine Gay, 11 papers total, mostly about race and gender. 40 plagiarism allegations, professor of African American studies, and not much else. Summers was forced out by the board after talking about women and men having genetic differences. Gay has the full backing of the board despite plagiarism and defending calls for genocide.
Yep. So she was obviously put into power because she's a black woman who's probably a lesbian with the buzz cut.
Yep.
And
Lori Lightfoot Jr. It's like a different type.
Exactly. And she's not very smart, which is actually good because when they're putting people in power, they do this with KJP, Karine Jean-Pierre.
Yeah.
Where it's like they put someone in power and they're not even smart enough to know that they're being used as a pawn in the bigger scam.
So
and they wouldn't even understand the scam if it was explained to them. Mm-hmm. So they're just great pawns for the globalists because she's anti-white. The globalists are anti-white. Different reasons they're anti-white. But the globalists can accomplish their agenda with her out not even noticing.
Yeah, enemy of my enemy is my friend type shit where it's like, yeah, we cross paths enough. You'll get the job done, henchman.
And it's like, oh, our goal is less white. And the globalists and her both nod like, yeah. But they're on like separate teams, but the same goal. Mm-hmm. And if they even confronted her on the scam that's going on, she wouldn't even be able to explain it. That's what Karine Jean-Pierre does too, where it's like, oh, according to Joe Biden, blah, 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 everything is working sound. and she doesn't even know how to explain what's going on because what's going on is so much more above her pay grade.
Yeah.
And then we have the New York Times defending her, and look at the words they're using to describe the plagiarism she committed.
This soft language from the New York Times. Harvard found more instances of insufficient citation in scholarly writings, and then Harvard also finds more instances of duplicative language.
Duplicative language that's when you copy and paste someone else's article onto your article.
That's called plagiarism, baby. The New York Times, man. Remember when shit used to have honor and integrity, and being a New York Times writer was like something to aspire to, and now it's just like you're a member of the team. You got to run interference for certain things. You got to attack certain things and hop on the team.
Yep.
Put on this jersey.
Exactly. And the mainstream media has gone obviously so downhill over the years, and it used to have weight. Mm-hmm. There were times where I would get fact checked in like 2018, and I would be like, damn, I need to correct this, or like, oh, it was a mistake. I want them to take the article down. Now I don't care. There was a time New York Times wrote an article about something I did for the 2020 election, and I tried to get them to say like some Rob Smith thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, here's my statement. Only use it if you use exactly these words. Because I think it had like a secret coded message.
ROB, yeah.
Like, right on, brother. So my ROBSM. So that's like where we're at now. These institutions are completely taken over.
Yeah, it's like, think about it. It's the New York Times writing about Harvard, and it's like both of them are down this much.
Fully compromised.
Covering for each other. It's a circular thing. It's just disappointing, you know?
Yeah. But we can't get too depressed. We can't get too down because it's Christmas.
I know. Think about the smells, the evergreen, you know, the tree.
Yeah. Seeing your grandparents.
So good.
That's nice. And I am grateful this Christmas for our friend, Mimetic Sisyphus.
Oh.
He's a very smart guy. He's got great points and great social media. He's linked in the description. We talk to him weekly about certain topics on the show, and he's always so good. And there was one that I found this week that I thought was really important. It basically describes who we're up against. Like, this progressive ideology obviously is a brain rot. It's like a brain virus. People have it. They're basically zombies. But there's like a thing that Mimetic Sisyphus does where he can kind of do like a 30,000-foot view and explain it. And then when you hear it, you go, oh, yeah, that's exactly it. That's who we're up against. And it makes seeing the playing field make it easier, and it makes it make more sense. So can you read the original source and then what Mimetic Sisyphus said about it?
Yeah, there's a cartoon that says what every parent should tell their children. And it says, you are not a sinner. You are an amazing human, and don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. Right?
Yep.
So Mimetic Sisyphus says, you're a fairly typical person. Your life is okay, but it could be better. You have some problems that weigh on your mind. A parent walks up to you and says, you're perfect. You don't need to change. What about your problems? If you're perfect, then why do you have problems? There must be some outside source, maybe a system that is making your life horrible. Maybe your bad grades. Maybe you getting cut from the team. Maybe your crush rejecting you is because of ableism or fat phobia or racism. Maybe that's the cause of all of society's problems. After all, you're perfect. The problem must be external.
Isn't that exactly what's going on?
Of course.
People who are told they're great, they're special forever, and then now whenever they face any hardships at all or any uphill climbs or any obstacles, it's like, well, I'm perfect, so anything that's happening to me is oppression, or anything that's going on is because of an unjust system. And then it puts all of your hard work and determination out the window, because why are you going to work hard to overcome an unjust system when fighting the unjust system is probably more beneficial for everybody than you think you're like a hero who's like a social justice warrior?
Yeah, don't work harder next year. Just file that lawsuit. You can't be the problem, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So we will love Mimetic Sisyphus because he makes such good, smart points. People sometimes think he's my alter ego on Twitter.
Not smart enough
and
to do
I
that.
assure you, I am not smart enough to be Mimetic Sisyphus. I wish I was.
Yeah.
But I'm not. All right, Trump is off the ballot.
But you are brave enough to say all this shit on camera, and so that's why that's why we're here.
It's a give and take.
Yeah, it is.
Mimetic Sisyphus is like, here's the best points.
I got a real job and a family. I'm out.
I can say those best points for you.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's a good point. All right, Trump is off the ballot in Colorado for now. It'll probably get reversed by the Supreme Court. Can you just read the headline just so we have it?
Yeah, Trump taken off the ballot. The Colorado Supreme Court has removed Donald Trump from the state's 2024 ballot because of the 14th Amendment ban on insurrections, which is just an interpretation by them. Donald Trump, if if you look back and you remember all the CNN talking heads saying insurrection, insurrection, he was never convicted of anything. A legal case or precedent was never brought.
I don't think anyone was convicted of insurrection.
Of course, because it's a very high bar. And
if he did an insurrection, he'd still be in power.
Yeah.
We just jail you guys.
Yeah. Checkmate. And so it's a very specific legal term, but this Colorado court, the state Supreme Court, entirely appointed by the Democrat governors, they just made an interpretation of it. So
that was nice.
So Trump's taken off. That'll get overturned, obviously.
But Fox has called Colorado for Joe Biden.
Yeah, Brett Baer called it.
Brett Baer just called it. Joe Biden had a tweet that went along with this.
Trump poses many threats to our country, the right to choose, civil rights, voting rights, and America's standing in the world. But the greatest threat he poses is to our democracy. If we lose that, we lose everything.
So that's a little ironic. Not doing a great job convincing us that Trump was saying the election was rigged.
Joe Biden, it's just kind of like yap, yap, yap. Like, we understand you got to hit your lines, Joe, but it's like in one ear, out the other. And I feel like most of America is like, all right, man, you kind of said nothing. You know, What are you talking about? A danger to our democracy? It's like they took him off the ballot. You're doing the things you accused Trump would do if elected. And that's the funny thing they accused Trump of, he'll be this, he'll be that. And it's like, he already had 4 years. He was the president for 4 years.
He stole the election and he left.
Yeah. He left. So it's just crazy. They want to gaslight people into thinking he's some boogeyman that's going to come, but it's just not the case at all.
Trump did an insurrection. It's like, you just let in 20 million illegal immigrants.
Are you fucking crazy?
Who's insurrecting what?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also we had some evidence, I guess, for people that were talking about like the evidence that they used to say he did an insurrection.
Yeah. In the decision, the judges have to write a decision when they do a ruling like this.
So what was the pieces of evidence they had that said, okay, this is Trump doing an insurrection?
Yeah. For example, the district court found that at a February 2016 rally, President Trump told his supporters that in the old days, a protester would be carried out on a stretcher and that he would like to punch him in the face. So they're like, his bits are the evidence that is insurrection.
From 2016, before he got elected in 2016.
Exactly.
February of 2016.
Exactly. He responded to questions about his supporters' violence by saying it was very, very appropriate and we need a little bit more of it. And during the 2020 election cycle, President Trump threatened to deploy the military to Minneapolis to shoot looters amid protests over the police killing of George Floyd. He threatened it. He didn't actually do it.
And that was the insurrection.
But he thought about it for a second, so that's why he's off the ballot now. So
yeah.
Colorado's a joke. Their decision is obviously not going to stand. California right now is attempting to do a similar thing, but, Trump's a threat to democracy.
Yeah. And then Cernovich had a tweet that kind of summed up the judicial system we're living in entirely.
Yeah, the activist judges who kind of take broad interpretations and base it off of, some quote from 2016. California voted to end illegal immigrants' handouts, Prop 187. Judges overruled it. Same with gay marriage, Prop 8. We haven't been anything close to a democracy or a republic for decades. We live under judicial supremacy.
So all these stupid judges, they all get stuffed in the court and they start doing dumb shit.
And remember when Trump did the travel ban, I think, for COVID or something? He did something and it's like, some judge in Hawaii stops it immediately. It's like, that's kind of what America is becoming. Random judges, and then it like buys them 6 months to fight a court case. So,
and then on top of that, Trump got disqualified from other stuff too. Can you read this headline?
Trump disqualified from receiving Kohl's cash rewards earned, court says.
He already earned them.
How can you take someone's Kohl's cash away? That's disgusting.
You shouldn't even be able to see their name. It should just be like numbers or a code that it goes with someone's name, but it should be masked.
We used to be a proper country.
Yeah, but don't get too down because cannolis. You have cannolis at Christmas?
Not me. I'm not Italian.
No, we have cannolis. And like those Italian cookies that aren't even that good, but you eat them every year.
Very nice. Tradition.
All right. Last page of housekeeping. We are coming into the fun stuff. As you guys know, we are big believers in Henchman maxing. We'll show a guy who did some Henchman maxing this week. He's on our short list. There he is. We may have even shown him already.
Yeah.
But that's Henchman maxing.
Yep.
And
that's a proper henchman.
That's a proper henchman is right. And if you guys are paying attention to the show, you know that we are shooting a special bonus land Christmas segment that involves Henchman maxing from me and Richard Ratboy.
Yep.
And here's a picture from the shoot.
Little preview.
There's us in our outfits. Ratboy's got his cap on and the finger tipless gloves. And
Two different types of henchmen.
Suit. I got a fat suit on. So we shot a Christmas special. It's in bonus land, so make sure you guys sign up. And also, you can give the gift of bonus land. That is still available, fleccastalks.com. You can give a Christmas gift of a bonus land membership for an entire year, 4 hours a month of exclusive content. Perfect for the Fleccas podcast watcher in your life. It's better than pretty much any other gift. And you can write it off.
No, you can't.
2023, end of the year. At the end of the year,
You can't just write it off. You don't understand writing things off.
At the end of the year, you write everything off.
No.
And then you start spending on whatever you want, and then you write it all off at the end of the year. So yeah, Henchman maxed Christmas special. I mentioned all that, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Good news and bad news. What do you want first?
Good.
All right. Look how this guy uses bear mace. This really surprised me. There's a bear downwind of him. And he sends it. You think bear mace, you have to be up close and you shoot the bear in the face with it.
Yeah.
If they're downwind from you, you just send a little pocket of bear mace all the way down to him. I think that's how you're supposed to use it.
Yeah, that's nice. I have never seen that using the wind, but did you know bear mace is actually less potent than human mace? So you're actually using like a weaker batch with the bear mace.
Ah, that's good to know.
Because they have such sensitive noses and shit.
All right, so now we have bad news, because you said good news first.
Okay.
The bad news is the LGBTs got to Frosty the Snowman.
No.
Yeah. Look at this.
Disgusting.
Someone fucks the snowman. Showing his ass like that.
Disgusting. Have some integrity.
You can't just make a normal toy.
Yeah.
You have to jiggle its ass.
Sick.
Fuck is wrong with people? All right, but because it's Christmas, we have extra good news. Maybe. The odds book is officially open for Caitlyn Jenner transitioning back to Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
Here's a picture. Caitlyn Dunn gave up and Bruce is making a comeback. We can't confirm it yet, but that does look like he's going back to Bruce.
I don't know, man. I think it's like nature wins at the end. It's a constant fight to be Caitlyn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're aging, you're getting old. You're like, I woke up this morning, my back hurts, my this. I used to be an athlete. And it's like, am I going to put on the makeup every day? Am I going to do this every day?
My nail broke. It's like, let's just wait till they all fall off.
Let's just file them all down. Nature wins in the end, guys.
So
it's a
nature wins. And then also maybe he just got over his gender dysphoria and he's just feeling a little better. Maybe he's eating a better diet and not getting, impacted by all the disrupted endocrines.
Yeah, plastic.
His endocrines aren't getting disrupted as much.
We'll see.
We'll keep an eye on that. Options are open for that.
Chris Pine, up. Bruce Jenner, down.
Yeah. Last piece of housekeeping. There was a Secret Santa. Can you describe what the group is?
Yeah, Secret Santa, we call it the Rat Chat. It happens on Instagram. It's 2 Richard Ratboy subscribers on Instagram. We did a Secret Santa this year, and I just wanted to highlight some of the things. This guy got a Richard Ratboy, JD bought for Michelle. He got her an RRB voodoo doll. Look at that.
Very cool.
I don't really endorse Funko Pops, but this one is me,
That
so
one
I
counts.
do. And then look at this one. This is from Melanie. Look at all this wrapping paper and stuff. So the team went all out. The Rat Chat's popping. Thank you, guys.
Show watchers, bonus landers, we really appreciate it. We love people who love the show.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Cringe of the Week. All right, our first page of Cringe, our first clip is the new Netflix show, The Coco Chameleon, which used to be...
Coco Melon.
Coco Melon?
Yeah, you keep saying Coco Chameleon.
I thought it was that Coco Chameleon show redone.
I don't know. Maybe.
Remember Coco Chameleon with the frog and the black guy?
No.
The whole family?
No, I never watched that shit.
All right, well, I assumed it was the same show redone with homosexuals.
Okay.
So it's not. So maybe some of my points won't make sense.
Okay.
But let's let it rip.
That we know about you. You love to get up and dance. How about you break out those moves for your 2 biggest fans?
All right. So these two gay guys put the kid in the dress.
Two twinks acquired a baby, made him dress in a dance or dance in a dress, which actually is accurate.
Yeah.
That's what two twink guys would do. They'd put the son in a dress and they'd let it go crazy.
Yeah. So I guess they took a break from like fucking and sucking each other to hang out with the kid that they acquired.
Yeah.
And also the white gay guy is an RRB type. If we were still doing doppels, we would have cooked you on that one.
Which sucks, you know. They misused my phenotype. And you know, the one thing I will say, and I think this is targeted at like 2 to 3 year olds. This is like zombie shit for little babies. It's like babysitting if you're cooking dinner. And so they're trying to confuse the kids as much as possible, which is nothing new for Netflix. But this kind of show, two buddies acquire a baby and they start dressing them up. That's okay for a TV show.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen did a show like that.
Yeah, basically. But the show should be Law and Order SVU.
Oh, yeah.
You know, two gay guys there, Ice Cube or whoever it is, two gay guys acquired a baby.
What happened next? Probably what you think.
They call it playing house. Yeah. Disgusting, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, another Netflix thing, I don't know, man. You got to watch. You basically can't just assume your kids are getting a good lesson anymore. You can't be like, okay, I'll put this on. You have to like vet it, which takes away the whole point of like trusting a TV program with your kids, right?
Then you put your kid in front of the TV and say, okay, watch a couple episodes. I have to go do an hour of work.
Yeah.
But now you have to watch stupid kid shows to make sure they're not doing homosexuality.
And so here's the thing. Here's my tip. Just go to 1998, you know?
Yeah.
Just go straight to 1998 and be like, hey, you want Power Rangers today? You don't need to be up to date on Cocomelon. Your kid doesn't have to discuss the mindless TV he's consuming with his peer group or anything.
That's a good point.
Throw on Hey Arnold, you know?
Yeah, Rocket Power.
Exactly. Go back to 1998 and you're clean.
That's a good idea. All right. Well, making jokes about Netflix and how they remake everything to make it gay because I thought it was Coco Chameleon. Netflix is also going to be remaking Frosty the Snowman.
Oh.
And here's what it looks like.
Dark.
Chocolate Frosty.
Yep.
Not good.
That's a meme, I assume, right?
That's the meme, yeah.
Thank
Chocolate Frosty I made up.
Okay, good.
Nice.
You're
All
working
right.
hard.
Yeah. Let's move on to the trans pedo rapist.
Okay, that's standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this, I guess we'll let this LGBT, I label it LGBTQ sex criminal. So I had a little more nuance, but you know, he already spoiled it.
Philadelphia transgender activist identified as Kendall Stevens is now charged with sexually assaulting 2 children under the age of 13.
Yeah, Gray and Shari, disturbing details. Kendall Stevens was arrested today for the rape of a minor. Sources confirm that she is the same Stevens who is a prominent LGBTQ activist in the city.
Wow.
So 2 kids, fully raped, a prominent LGBTQ activist, trans person. And this is someone who has been elevated, right? So Kendall Stevens, 37, had recently been working in a leadership position at a children's home for vulnerable youth, which is like a classic predator situation, you know, like, oh, I'll just get around the kids and then...
And it's kids that are already susceptible and are vulnerable because they've already had some issues in their life. They're either foster kids or they've been abused.
Absolutely. And this is all like textbook pedophile stuff. Stevens also allegedly gave the 14-year-old gifts to keep him quiet after the raping him. He also allegedly told one of the victims that he would be locked up if he told anyone about the abuse. And also, beginning in 2022, he worked for the District Attorney's Office LGBTQ Advisory Board and the Philadelphia Police Department's LGBTQIA+ Liaison Committee. So this is like a highly decorated LGBTQ like rep. You know what I'm saying?
High up at every level.
And so back in the day, it used to be like, okay, some guy is, he's an account executive at the bank and he's on this board of trustees and he's on this and he volunteers with kids and oh my God, we never would have expected that guy to do it, you know? But today it's like the guy dressed up like a woman pretended to be a woman the whole time.
Yeah, the cross-dressing guy who's cutting off pieces of his body.
We never could have seen this coming.
How could we have known?
And obviously I don't think this disgusting man cut off pieces of his body. He was still raping people. So
that's a good point.
Disgusting, real victims here. And, you know, that glaring red flag that society and Democrats tell you to ignore, that glaring red flag that we say, hey, stay the fuck away from my children. Apparently ignoring that has some pitfalls.
Yeah, exactly.
So, really disgusting, and like victims who got victimized who didn't need to.
These are mentally sound people, though, the trans community. They're so mentally sound that because they're running out of their pills in Italy, they're boiling plastic bags and eating it. Can you read that?
Yeah, it says transgender people in Italy are cooking plastic bags to extract their estrogenic chemicals as their HRT pills run out. So it's just like boiling on the stovetop plastic, and then you drink the chemicals that it produces because plastic is
Disrupts your
estranogenic.
Yeah, it disrupts your endocrines.
Yeah. So
that's right.
Again, I don't know.
So that's what very normal people. There was also a trans stabber, or it's a person who says they should stab transphobes who's trans.
Not to be like overly dramatic or anything, can we just start stabbing transphobes at this point? Like, we have such a big problem of transphobic people being fucking idiots and not getting their shit kicked in. Can we just start kicking their shit in? It would be so much easier for everyone. The entire world would be so much better if we could just stab a transphobe.
I think he's talking to us.
Pretty much. And this is the thing we've discussed too, where they revert back to their factory settings when they're really angry or reach a boiling point, which is this man's desire to fight and go to war.
Yeah, the masculine urge to go to war against your enemies.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we've had that trans shooter in Nashville. We had the trans almost shooter in Colorado who we covered on the show who
was punching holes in the wall.
Punching holes in the wall. It was Lily. And so thankfully that one got nipped in the bud. So hopefully the FBI sees this video and they take a break from arresting grandmas who walked around on January 6th and pay a visit to the transphobic threatening stabber's house.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, they're probably communicating to them through their brain, through MK Ultra shit, through the SSRIs.
Smart. Yeah.
So it's like, hey, tell
so
them
they already
to
have a
calm
line.
down.
They already have a line to them.
They already have a direct line of communication, and it's not being used for anything good. There was this thing. I didn't see this because this was a late ad, so you're kind of in charge of this story.
Well, you know, we thought we'd round out. There's the trans rapist, the trans threatening to stab, and then there's an alternate trans person here. From the UK, a trans-identified male has appeared in court after being accused of dumping soiled adult diapers outside a nursery and rubbing feces on the baby bottles. Abby Taylor was referred to as a woman in some media reports.
Abby.
So, you know, just playing around in shit, pretending you're a baby, that's healthy, normal stuff. And here's something I want to read just from the article. At the time of the incidents, Taylor was under a criminal behavior order imposed by Nottinghamshire's Magistrates Court prohibiting him from being within 10 meters of a nursery without reasonable excuse, suggesting he had been caught conducting similar activity in the past.
Reasonable excuse.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here to wipe the shit on their bottles.
So he's a repeat offender on this, and the media is still treating him as if this guy into baby shit is a woman.
Yeah. Well,
but we're extremist or something. I don't know.
We need to get stabbed because we're catching on to this shit.
We're calling out the trans poop diaper rapist play shit.
Yeah, but we're transphobic.
Yeah.
All right, next page of Cringe. This is my favorite part of Cringe and my favorite part of the whole episode. This section of the show is dedicated to people who had a destiny in their DNAs but got LGBT sidetracked. But the DNA is still trying to do what it's meant to do.
Yeah. It's
a way to describe it?
Kind of. I've been calling it twink globalism. They got sucked into twink globalism instead of reaching their destiny, which is based on their phenotype, based on thousands of years of history and
physiognomy.
A relationship with the land.
Yeah.
All that type of stuff.
And when I put this together with Nina, who is a Bonus Land watcher, her and all of her sisters watch the show, but Margot watches the least.
Oh.
I check in. I go, who's watching the least? And she said, Margot. So she's not even going to see this.
All right.
But Nina watches the most. All right. The first guy, the hairdresser. So we can't play the music, but he's got some gay music on it. He's a hairdresser.
He's got puffed up lips. You know what this guy's up to on one look, right?
He's doing the curls. He loves it. So he has the physiognomy of an Italian Renaissance painter.
This guy should be painting frescoes and eating olives and painting on the side of a church, right?
Yeah, or like the whole thing. You should be doing, what's it called?
Sistine Chapel?
Yeah. He's a Renaissance painter deep in his bones.
He's Italian. Look at him.
But instead, his canvas is his own face, and he's doing makeup and puffing his lips up and curling his hair like some twink.
He fell into the perils of twink globalism.
So the LGBTs derailed his DNA.
Yep.
All right, this next guy who's doing makeup stuff.
Guys, my kids pick my makeup, so let's see if they did a good fucking job.
He lets his kids pick his makeup. Here he is. So this guy, he should have been a Silk Road merchant.
He should be traveling with a camel and spices and everything in Persia.
Yeah.
And instead, he's doing makeup with his kids in America. He got disconnected from his purpose, disconnected from his land,
his gender,
and he fell into twink globalism.
Yeah, because the chemicals in the water turned him gay. So this next guy is pretty obvious.
Pretty obvious what region he's coming from. And he's doing TikToks of twink Irish shit. This guy should be deep in the bogs of Ireland with a herd of sheep.
Yeah.
And he should be eating shepherd's pie covered in wool. But instead, he fell to twink globalism.
And he still knows, there's something about my heritage I need
potatoes. I need potatoes.
I wear the leprechaun outfit. There's something. I know there's something. But he got derailed. His DNA and his destiny got derailed by the LGBT globalist agenda.
It's very sad, to be honest.
Yeah. And then this last one, probably can't play the music, unfortunately, but it's this fat gay guy.
And doing an outfit check.
And this guy would have been destined to host a fat racist podcast with his buddies.
Yeah. He should have a Richard Ratboy of his own, but instead he's doing outfit checks on Instagram.
He's doing twink shit.
Twink globalism is derailing a lot of young men. And it's partially their fault. It's partially society's fault. But, that old stock of man from each of these regions, it's thinning out. And more are becoming these weird makeup guys.
Yeah.
So it's ugly.
Really not good. All right. Second to last page of Cringe. We did an extra page of Cringe and then one less page of Urban. Urban's very light.
Yeah.
Because it's Christmas.
Yeah, and we can't get too down.
And we can't get too down and too depressed. All right. Teacher with the outfit. This is a controversial one because I think you and I have different opinions on this.
I just didn't think this was that bad.
All right. Let's see.
Happy
this
Tuesday,
is a
teacher outfit of the day. I love my outfit today. I'm obsessed with these pants. They're Abercrombie. They're the pleather pants. They just have the best fit. I've had them for 3 years, and I just always find myself reaching for them. This is a cashmere sweater from Offset.
We get it. So she's wearing tight leather ass pants, and maybe I'm a stiff and I'm a prude or I'm too conservative or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a little much. The kids already don't know math or how to read or whatever. And I know it's different and better, I guess, than the LGBT teachers with purple hair teaching everyone to be lesbian.
Yeah.
But this, I think, is distracting. I think this shows that she is really seeking attention for her looks. Obviously, she's putting this on TikTok, so she's clearly seeking attention for her looks. And if you're seeking attention for your looks and you're a second grade teacher, it's kind of like it butts heads with your job. Like your what you want to do with your TikTok and the likes and whatever and showing everyone your leather pants ass. It kind of goes against what it would mean to be a second grade teacher.
Okay, that's fair. I mean,
she's seeking sexual validation.
I get it, and I agree. I just didn't think it was that bad. She's trying to get the attention of the football coach or something. I don't know. But,
yeah,
I agree with you. I'm just saying I figured we could have used a worse example than some tight pants,
Yeah, but the whole point is she's clearly seeking sexual validation because of TikTok and the outfit, and then the outfit is being worn to her job, which is a second grade teacher. So she was working at Walmart and was like, here's my ass. It's like, okay, a little different. But I guess what you said is true. Maybe let us know in the comments. Am I being too hard on her?
I don't think we should crucify her, but, she's wearing the leather ass pants.
Yeah, well, hey, I wear the same stuff to work every day.
Yeah.
And it helps not distract the audience.
Yeah. People don't have to think too much about what you're up to.
They know. It's the same outfit every day, just a different undershirt.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wear the same undershirt.
Sometimes he just keeps wearing it day after day. Doesn't even do the laundry.
And you go...
Smells like shit.
You smell like shit. When was the last time you showered? And it's like... Damn, I really don't remember.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Our next clip. This is an old clip, I think. It went viral months ago.
A year ago, pretty much.
But it's the same idea. It's like girls getting attention and seeking attention for their outfits. And then in this case, she gets mad that people notice.
Gets caught on camera being a pervert. And when I stand up for myself, he threatens to call the police and revoke my membership.
She calls the guy a pervert.
Guy's checking her out, looks at her ass. Other guy turns and he goes, oh, damn.
Do you need something? Do you need something? Do you need something? Okay, I thought so.
So she's clearly attention seeking.
A little bit.
At every level. She's filming this for social media, so she has a social media parasite. She's wearing underwear in public, so she's seeking male attention, has that parasite. And she's inappropriately standing up for herself, so she's got the feminist parasite. And here's what I'm saying. If this is like her experience, right?
Yeah.
So after doing this, she called the guy a pervert. So she's basically saying, oh, there's...
For looking at a fat gym ass.
After she takes her shirt off and is basically wearing her underwear in the gym.
Yeah.
So that she says he's a bad guy, right?
Okay.
So let's paint a picture here. If your conclusion is there's bad guys out there based on your immediate experience, and then your action plan is to wear your underwear and undress at the gym in a world where you know there are bad guys, aren't you kind of being retarded?
Isn't that kind of a conflicting thing to do? Yeah.
Oh, there's bad guys. I better cover up because there's bad guys out there.
I better wear my underwear at the gym.
And I don't even think there are bad guys. I don't think that guy's a bad guy. I
No.
think that's completely fair game. If you wear your underwear to the gym, people are going to go like this and look at you, and that's why you're wearing it. So just a little annoying to me how it all plays out.
Well, and it's like dream world versus reality. Okay, you got your juicy ass out in the gym in your underwear.
Yeah.
And you're like, what, upset that guys look? I think that's kind of human nature, right?
Yeah.
So you can either be upset that guys look and not wear the stuff, or you can wear the stuff and deal with reality, right?
Exactly.
So,
and also, she's not even confident in the outfit. Like the way she's taking her shirt off, she's like kind of uncomfortable the whole time. And the way she's even standing with her legs, it's like this was a stretch outfit for her where she's like, oh, I'm just going to wear it. Yeah, I'll be confident. And then you're in the gym kind of going like this.
Confronting someone because they looked over at you.
Why don't you just not wear your underwear to the gym? All right, last piece of cringe, the little person wrestling.
Yeah. Had to wrestle a little person.
To wrestle a little person.
Game seated on mat 3.
Damn, tossed him. Brutal.
It's ugly.
And then we fast forward to the end, the guy gets pinned.
He gets instantly pinned.
He gets thrashed.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? What would you do in that situation?
I'd pin him.
Yeah?
You show up and pin him, yeah. I'd pin a girl. I'd pin a midget. It seems like in high school these days, everything's they're trying to throw as many things as they can at
They don't
high
let the
school
kids
athletes.
play anymore.
Well, I don't.
You got to go against a guy who's a girl. You have to go against a midget. It's like, let the kids just play the fucking sport.
Where's my equal? Where's someone who's like me? Let me wrestle him. It seems like they're doing everything they can to throw you off and have you. What? Do I do it?
I would tell my coach. I think this might have happened when I was a little kid. I would tell my coach, like, hey, I really don't want to wrestle the girl or the little guy.
I had a moment in like 7th or 8th grade football where we played against a girl, and the ref came over to talk to my coach, and he goes, hey, guys, just so you know, there's a girl on the other team. And it was like this fat nose tackle girl. And the ref came over and told our coach that. And then our coach immediately turned to us, old school Italian guy with missing finger, and he goes, hey, guys, there's a girl on the team. We don't take anything off. We keep going as hard as we can. If she wants to play, she's got to play our kind of ball. And we dug her out. We blew her up. Must have put up 40 points that whole game.
Wow.
But yeah.
Something similar happened to me in 8th grade. I might have told this story like in Bonus Land like 2 years ago.
Okay.
A long time ago. But I did like a wrestling camp, and we had like this end of summer wrestling tournament, and it was like a whole statewide tournament. And I was going up against a guy who I think had Down syndrome.
Ooh.
But he was gigantic.
They're stocky. They bench a lot.
And he was huge. He was like, and I was probably like 5'9", like 200 and something
5'9",
pounds.
300?
I was big. No. But he was probably like 6'2", 240.
Oh.
Like a big Down syndrome guy. And my friends were watching, and they were so far away in the stands that they couldn't see he was Down syndrome. So then I wrestled them like all the way across, like far away. and I just immediately grabbed him, threw him, like did a head and an arm, whatever toss, and pinned him.
Yeah.
And he got a bloody nose. And he had to be escorted off the mat.
So
then all my friends ran over and were like, "You just beat that guy. That was crazy." And I never told anyone that he had Down syndrome because he got brought off the mat immediately with his hand over his face, covering the bloody nose.
Wow.
And I immediately was just like, yeah, that was great. I didn't say, oh, he had something wrong with him.
So I guess this is kind of a universal experience. Everybody has one super memorable encounter against a girl or a Down syndrome person or a midget. I don't know why this was a cringe.
And you got to just kind of win.
Yeah, this is a coming of age story actually now. But the one thing that's not coming of age is a girl having to fight against a guy. And that's the only thing that I'll say.
It's a coming of age story, and you have your face. It's an ugly choice, but you're faced with the choice. You're going against a Down syndrome person or a midget. Do you beat him or do you lose to a Down syndrome person or a midget?
And you got to win.
The only thing worse than having to do it is getting pinned by a midget.
You got to win.
So you got to just grit your teeth that day. That is the end of Cringe of the Week. Don't get too down or depressed. We're moving on to Urban Decay. It's a very light Urban Decay. Our first clip is homeless people having sex on the street in LA.
If only these people had a house.
Yeah. We have to almost like blur it.
Yeah.
I don't even know. And the cops will say, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
It's like, you're just not? It's happening right here. And I wonder, like, you know how cops have that attitude in certain cities, like the blue cities, there's nothing we can do?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, could you look away while someone else does something about it?
Yeah.
It's like, if you guys are like, oh, my hands are tied, I can't arrest anybody. Well, then when someone comes in and beats up the looter, why don't you just go like that and go, I didn't see it. And like, let that be your way of like justice without justice.
Yeah. My issue is that there is something we can do. There are laws on the book.
Yeah. You definitely can't fuck on the ground like that.
You definitely can't fuck on Hollywood Boulevard, right? That's like in the laws of Hollywood, right?
Somewhere, right?
I wanted to edit this with Fleccas always watches La La Land. He loves La La Land. He loves Gosling. He bought a signed poster of La La Land, right?
It's a great soundtrack.
And I always joke with him. I always go, it's La La Land. And I like do stupid dances. I wanted to put some La La Land dances in front of this. Like, anyone can make it in Hollywood.
The streets are paved with gold here.
Yeah.
This is what dreams are made of.
Hobos fucking in a used...
gay hobos.
Yeah. Is that gay?
Oh, those are two guys.
Classic.
Yeah. Can't they just do this in the Senate hearing room?
I know.
Like anyone else?
Have some decency.
All right, let's go to the next place. $250K stolen, worth of goods stolen from Chanel.
This is a Chanel store, 6-man heist. They went in quick. That smoke you're seeing is from a fire extinguisher that they used. And so the interesting part about this, I mean, this is the standard AOC. They're stealing for bread. They're stealing to support their family, but it's all high-end designer handbags, right? But the main piece I want to talk about here is that there was a security guard who he did have a gun, and he ended up firing the gun at them. At one point, it missed. It didn't hit anybody. And this is in Washington, D.C., and the police department is investigating whether he was right to use the weapon or not.
So they're mad at the security guard.
They're mad at the security guard, like always, guys.
Not for stealing $250,000 worth of stuff. And this is, remember we talked about last week how we don't enforce the laws we have, and then we ask for someone to do something, and that ends up being overreach, which limits our rights in the long term?
Yeah.
This type of thing is the same thing, and then the next step is going to be, well, we need to get rid of brick and mortar stores. We need to just shop online. We don't even need in-person shopping anymore.
Yep.
And it's just like one more way to get us like more in the pod, less out in society.
Yep.
So yeah, that's crazy. Last clip is the people stealing, white people stealing.
Yeah, this is white people at Marshall's.
We show it all.
We show it all, man. These are white street rats too, and I will say. You know how we
They're
always...
a little more polite with the stealing, at least.
They're not rushing out,
They just walk out. No one's ruining anything or running people over. We just take the stuff nicely.
Take notes, other thieves. And the one thing I will say about this is, you know how I always say we need corporal punishment? These people don't need to go to jail. They just need to get the shit beat out of them. I am steady. That goes beyond race. If you're a thief like this, stealing a full shopping cart of stuff, just let some big security guard who's got Popeye forearms go like this to you a couple times. Black or white, Asian, Hispanic. That's what we need to do. Immediate physical pain punishment for these types. You don't have to go to a cell. Taxpayers aren't paying for you to be in a cell. And if you come back, the beating gets a little harder. So
it's a good idea.
Same principles, whether white, black, brown, yellow, whatever. I'm an equal opportunity corporal punishment guy.
Yeah. I ran the laundry right before this show, and my sweatshirt is wet.
It's been damp the whole time.
Yeah. I do that for I do it for you guys.
Smart.
I make an exception. I put it in the wash real quick. I didn't do the timing right. It felt kind of warm when I took it out. But now I am realizing that it is a fully damp, entirely sweatshirt.
Did it ruin the show?
Nah, well, I don't know. I'm not feeling comfortable.
Okay.
All right, Uplifting Gold. Don't get too down, don't get too depressed. First clip, let's do the Gail Lewis clip.
I'm kind of done with Gail Lewis. Can I be honest?
I'm done with Gail Lewis too, but I like to see a meme reiterate itself in multiple ways.
And reach its pinnacle almost?
Yeah.
Attention Walmart, this is Gail Lewis, 10-year associate, Morris, Illinois, 844, signing out. Good night.
That's nice.
And that's the last we'll ever talk about Gail Lewis
That's
on
the
this
last
show.
Gail Lewis will ever do. Let's go to the squirrel video. I don't know if this is even uplifting or not. This squirrel thinks this woman is his baby, I think.
Come on. Oh.
Because the squirrel's trying to take her to the nest.
All right. Let's go. What?
See how he's dragging her to the nest?
Come in the nest?
There's only two reasons to take somebody to the nest like this.
What are they?
Here we go.
It's your baby or you want to make a baby.
Go in the nest. Come on. Okay, here. I'll come up the ladder. I'll come up the ladder.
All right, keep going. It gets good.
Here. You go up. You go up, Mommy will go up. I'm coming. I'm coming.
She says, Mommy will go up. And this is what he's up to. He's got a little hut. That's like what they live in Africa.
Yeah.
A little mud hut.
There's a baby. Come here, honey.
I like this.
Yeah, it's uplifting.
Beautiful nest.
That's nice. It's uplifting.
Squirrels can be friends with humans. I didn't know that. I thought they were too fast and too twitchy to really become friends with humans.
And then when you grab them, they immediately bite you.
Yeah.
So they kind of have the instinct of like, oh, if I'm touched, I'll bite.
Yeah.
And then by the time you overpower that, like, I don't think you do.
Yeah. I won't be starting any friendships with squirrels, but that's just me.
Of course not. Some people we know like them.
Yeah.
When I took Jerry to the dog boarding facility.
Mm-hmm. We're both going home for Christmas,
Yeah.
so Jerry has to go to the...
I dropped him off yesterday. I felt very bad.
Yeah.
Because he got there and immediately knew it was some sort of like veterinarian type of place. Because he smelled the other dogs. And some lady tried to put a collar on him and he kind of was like scared and shaking. And then I took him outside to the dog open play area that he goes to every day. And there was just a bunch of dogs and they forced him through the gate and all the dogs like swarmed him immediately and he was kind of like scared. But then he immediately pissed in the water. So I think that's good.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, he'll like it by the end.
Yeah.
It's a culture shock, but he'll like it by the end. He's always begging to go to the dog park and shit.
Yeah. And I felt bad, but then I realized, remember in Interstellar when that guy goes to space and never really comes back for like 60 years, McConaughey, and then he left on bad terms with his daughter?
Yeah, and then he comes back and she's like 89 years old.
That was way worse.
Yeah. You can drop your dog off at the dog park for a week.
Who cares?
All right, smart.
All right, let's move on. Little kid math.
So far, so good?
Don't you like this?
Yeah, I like this guy.
And he knew that was too sloppy, so he redid it and he remembers all the numbers.
8.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
There's kids in high school who can't do this. They probably don't even know what the symbols mean.
They're in Baltimore right now.
There's this whole schools of people who can't do that.
And they go, man, that shit's gay. That's lame. Like, they think like that. And you know what? It's so funny because it's like this kid has a sponge brain, right? And at this age, it's like, well, if we shoehorn in this good stuff, he can actually be great. And it's automatic by the time he's an adult and whatever. And then there's the Netflix approach, which is show two gay dads dancing with the sun in a tutu, you know?
Let the sponge absorb that.
Yeah, let the sponge absorb the worst shit on earth instead of the actual useful stuff. So
let's go to
this
the
kid.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to the last clip of the kid waiter.
This is at some family restaurant.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Oh, don't you like that? Wasn't that nice?
I love that.
That's Uplifting Gold. As always, on Fridays, we're doing our shout-outs at the end of the show. We have a happy birthday to Linda on December 24th coming up. Happy birthday. Her and her daughter, Erin, are big show watchers, and they actually just completed a Fleccas Talks the podcast puzzle.
Printed it out themselves. Been busy.
Yeah.
Busy season.
Yeah. Still schizocy.
So happy birthday to
Making
Linda.
your own puzzles is that's next level.
It's a schizo move.
That's very nice. Then we're moving on. Ashleen, obviously, we mentioned before, who made us those dolls.
Yep.
Very cool. Thank you, Ashleen. We love those. A happy anniversary to Ashley and Gabe. 9 years.
Big time show watchers.
Big time show watchers. Big time bonus landers. Very grateful for them. Happy birthday to Justin Rubio on the 23rd of December. He's an OG show watcher since the Spoon days. Thank you, Justin. Happy birthday. We have a couple drywall shout-outs here and a paint shout-out. Very cool. Love to see it. And a Merry Christmas to Travis from Milana. Thank you guys for watching on separate devices all the time. And that's just a straight-up Merry Christmas shout-out. That goes to one person.
Yeah. Wow. That's actually crazy.
And then
how'd they get that done?
They just DM me and I go, screenshot, I'll remember.
It's actually so funny because sometimes like we've talked about this before for shout outs. We'll be opening our DMs and then it's like, if you catch me at the right time, I just have to screenshot it and send it right to the folder.
Yep.
So.
And last but not least, happy birthday to Brooke from Robert. Brooke to Deshook is her Instagram. She's a big follower of the show, loves us, sends us all kinds of good stuff. So happy birthday to them. Shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for supporting the show. We're at the end of the show. If you guys are at the end of the show still watching and you want more, there is a bonus land special coming out after Christmas that you're not going to want to miss. And you could always give the gift of bonus land subscriptions for people in your life who love the show. There's no bonus land today because it is Christmas and I need to pretty much edit all night, overnight until I get on my flight tomorrow.
Yep.
But we are going to be returned to our normal schedule in January, and there is the Christmas special next week.
I think our comeback episode is January 5th.
That Friday.
So
So we love you guys. We love doing the show. We hope you love it too. We have a whole nother year coming up, coming into the election. It's going to be great. And we couldn't do it without you and your support. So we love you guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you at the Christmas special next week.
Fleccas Talks, the podcast featuring Richard Batboy, the best new podcast of all time.